I don't see Thrawn as a secondary in-command kind of person. I think the only reason he is this is just a stepping stone for him to his path, which, again, I don't know what his end goal is.
Say he gets his way and he conquers the New Republic, and now there's a new empire. What then?
He'll lead the rebellion.
Rebellion.
Right. Hello there, you found the lost Holocron, ancient artifact of lore and legends from a galaxy far, far away. Each transmission of the lost Holocron, you will join an episodic discussion of media from the Star Wars universe. Today we have Rick Sanchez.
Oh no. Can I be someone else?
No.
No. I guess that makes me perfect for Rick, actually.
we have Aldrin Krieger.
Oh, what a nightmare.
Say hi. I'm Rusty Venture, and we have good news, everyone. We have Professor Farnsworth.
If you need me, I'll be in my angry dog.
We will be covering the material up to and including Chapter 19 of Dark Force Rising. So, Rick Sanchez, what happened so far?
I always know when I'm going to be called on. It's weird.
It's the Force telling you.
It is, yeah. I might be Force sensitive. So far, Mara Jade has held a personal grudge against Luke Skywalker for the assassination of Emperor Palpatine. As the Emperor's hand, her entire life was destroyed along with the second Death Star. Emotionally scarred and disposed of her past life, Mara struggled with her new life until joining Talon Karrde's smuggling group, hoping to utilize the resources of his enterprise to exact her revenge. The Empire has a tenuous alliance with Dark Jedi Joruus C'baoth. In exchange for his battle meditation, Grand Admiral Thrawn promises to capture and deliver Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa solo. After crippling Skywalker's X-Wing, he is incidentally captured by Karrde and imprisoned on Myrkr. Escaping his confinement during an untimely Imperial visitation, both parties reluctantly work together to evade Imperial detection, culminating in a firefight. Weeks later, as Mara reclaims one of Karrde's impounded ships, she is captured by an Imperial Star Destroyer. Declaring herself to be the Emperor's hand, she is taken to talk directly with Thrawn. She offers a trade of Karrde's knowledge of a long-lost fleet of warships, the Katana fleet, for organization-wide immunity within Imperial space. Thrawn insincerely accepts the offer and sends Mara on her way with a tracker to locate Karrde and extract the information himself. He declared to Captain Pellaeon that Jade is a deserter, not worthy of the Empire. Professor Farnsworth, what happened in this chapter?
An uneasy feeling grips Karrde as he watches Mara's return to their safe house. Despite having given the all-clear, the Imperials are upon them without warning. He is surprised that his thoughts contain no animosity for Mara, only a slight satisfaction to understanding more about her mysterious past. Aboard the Chimera, Mara is livid at having been deceived by Thrawn. Her anger gets the better of her, but Thrawn's Nagiri bodyguard, Rook, intercepts her assault. Still smoldering, she reaches out with the Force to choke him, but all of her rage cannot fuel the power necessary to close his airways. He stares her down until she exhausts herself. Thrawn offers her two options: join Skywalker as Mad Jedi C'baoth's plaything, or accept an officer's position within his empire. Thrawn warns that an Imperial officer hoping for her own command must not have split loyalties, and as such must disown Karrde. Mara adopts a subservient posture and accepts. However, after she is dismissed, she resolves to find Skywalker to ask for his help to free Karrde. Using the Emperor's back door to hack into a terminal, she retrieves information related to the cell block where Karrde is being held, the planned course for the Chimera over the next few days, and the location of C'baoth. She logs off just in time to be taken back to the planet's surface. Mara is received by Karrde's chief aide, Aves. Her ostensible betrayal leaves him ambivalent, but she manages to convince him to supply her with a ship and an Isalamir with a nutrient frame.
I love how much this has escalated.
Yeah.
How quickly.
It's quite tense.
Yeah.
I wanted to say last time that we had a Mara chapter that I have no idea how Mara got so popular because she was just so infuriating in that first book. There was like nothing to hold on to, not a lot to enjoy about the character, but these slivers that we're getting in this book are a lot more enjoyable.
I agree.
Are a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think it's just nice that there's actual substance to what is going on at this point. Like, it is not just a vague chapter every so often about how mad Mara Jade is.
Yeah.
We actually are getting backstory and something to care about. And it's interesting.
She has active goals now too.
Yeah.
She has agency in her own story.
Does she have agency? She's being pushed around a lot, but like...
I mean, yeah. She has agency, but she also has some very compelling obligations.
She's definitely got more depth than the last book.
Yeah.
Dimensionality.
Okay, so I went back to this chapter like 3-4 times, probably more than that. I missed, how did she go from the deck officer to Aves?
They took her back to the surface. There was there was a time gap where Thrawn was like, "Okay, we'll deliver you back to the surface," and which I don't really understand that part of the story. So maybe we could go through it a little bit, see what everybody picked up on, because Thrawn offers her a position within the Empire, and then says, "Okay, we'll leave you back on this planet." But like, how does that make her a part of the Empire? What is she expected to do as an Imperial being delivered to the surface? Is she just there for a cleanup operation, or?
I think she's just going to the surface for now, because I think he's still more than aware that she can and will try to stop him in some way, shape, or form.
Right. So he's just putting her there as like a temporary shore leave to be picked up later?
Exactly. Well, that's what I think it is.
I wonder if it's giving her a false sense of security. Like she's actually still being watched and tracked.
I mean, she did suspect that, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think Thrawn knows that she's smarter than that. He literally just was like, yeah, you can go off. And then was just there when she got there. I don't think he's going to try to do that exact same maneuver again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what planet is the surface that she was sent onto? What planet was that?
I don't think it didn't specify. We didn't get a planet name. No.
Okay.
Generic planet.
The surface. Okay.
It's that same one they've been hiding out on, right?
Well, they've been moving around a lot, so...
Have they really? Okay, I missed that detail. That's cool to know.
So there was the one with the...
with the bird people.
With the bird people in the hills.
Yeah.
And then they had to leave that one at the end of the chapter, and they were like, we just got to burn Stardust while we find a new place. And so this was some other location that, I really don't think we've gotten any information on that.
It's probably not important.
It's this little known planet called Tatooine.
Just the default planet in Star Wars.
Yeah.
If you can't think of another planet to have your story on, just Tatooine.
Yep.
Yeah. Because even like back in chapter 17, when she picks up the ship, it says that she just makes a couple of calculations. It doesn't say where to.
Yeah.
And then they get intercepted by the Star Destroyer. She takes her leave, has a little interaction with Thrawn, and now we're here on some planet.
Yeah, and now everyone is captured. Again, the escalation. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for anybody in this area.
So where was Aves and everybody? Were they on the planet that we started? Like, remember how they had that?
I think there's this one planet that they're all like... Because even in the chapter it says when she gets back down, she can still smell the... not sulfur, ceramic. So this was... So there's one planet she comes back to there's an Imperial assault. They take only the two people. They only take two people. They take her and they take Karrde. And then they put her back down on the same planet. Right. Yeah, and Aves and everybody else is like, well, what the hell happened? You just betrayed our leader.
Yes.
And then there's that line about either you're somebody who changes alliances every 2 weeks, that you've been manipulating him from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I forget, did Mara interact with Thrawn in the last book?
No, not in the last book.
Right, she just observed Karrde interact with him. And then she went off to get Luke when he arrived at Myrkr.
But she's aware of him.
Yeah, no, totally. I think Karrde was like specifically trying to isolate her from the Imperials because he uninvited her to like the Imperial welcoming with the parade, perfect TIE flyover.
Oh, actually, and maybe in that brief moment when Han and Lando. No, I think she was chasing Luke at that point. When okay, I don't think they interacted at all.
No, she was all really busy. She hasn't spoken face to face with Thrawn except for that chapter 17, and now chapter 19. With such a power move, she's trying to choke him, and he's just standing there staring at her. She calls him like a glow-eyed freak.
Yeah. The reason I was wondering, like, if they had interacted was because I'm wondering what Thrawn has on her, or, like, knows about her.
Sure he knows quite a bit.
Yeah. I think because he seems to know that there are a lot of Emperor's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least more than just the one.
Right. Which she may not have known.
Yeah, which she didn't know. She's actually spinning out about that part.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's much to know about her. I think it's more about the title of the Emperor's Hand. Because about her, there might not be anything important about her except for Emperor's Hand. We don't really know a lot about her backstory or what she did.
You know, that's fair. If I were interacting with someone who had, like, that level of importance, I'd probably let them go free, too, because I could assume they still have some kind of loyalty. He probably assumes she has some kind of loyalty, but at the same time, like, letting her off on her own also gives him an opportunity to observe her and see where her loyalty actually is, or if he can gather any intel from her actions.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely doesn't trust her because he told Paleon that, like, she's a deserter. We're not going to take her back. So I'm confused about why he's offering her positions and stuff. But maybe you're right. He's using it as a kind of a leash to keep her on so that he can get more information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's an interesting thing to come across.
Yeah. He also doesn't seem to care, respect her much because he just thinks that she was a puppet. And we know how he feels about people being the Emperor's puppet because he was the time that he turned around and was like, didn't you see it at the Battle of Endor when he died? Everybody just collapsed. You guys are all just puppets for the Emperor's will.
Maybe that's also why he let her loose. He assumes she'll be useless.
He doesn't think very highly of the Force and Force users. I mean, that's the impression I get. And even he didn't seem very impressed with her display of trying to choke him. And, you know, I think even in that moment, he knew he had just nothing but leverage because he had Rolk and he had his troopers. And
so maybe she's going to be the person that he underestimates.
Could be. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little surprised he didn't have his. He's still married, but maybe he just thought that low of her and her abilities that he didn't think he even needed it.
Yeah.
Because even so, like, you know, after she, you know, releases him from the Force, he says something like, you know, are you happy with your small powers or something like that? Or,
yeah.
What do you think Mara's motivations are right now? What do you think is important to her at this point?
Getting Karrde out.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst chapter of the last book that we saw them in, she had. Then we complained about it quite a bit. That she was like, "Oh, promises," we promised them to do something. And I think that loyalties is like, there's got to be top rung importance to her, because she's made promises to Karrde or something, and Karrde believes that, you know, she's not going to run off in a stolen ship from him, and for whatever reason, you know, she felt like she was conflicted in some way. And I do want to get back to this point about Thrawn saying that it was his empire, but for some reason she's like, you know, there's the old empire is gone, and now I've got nothing to be loyal to. So I think that she had some confliction. Confliction? Is that the right word?
Conviction.
She had some conflict about that until now she feels like there is no empire that I'm hanging on to. Now it's just Karrde. I'm loyal to Karrde for whatever promises or whatever we owe each other. And maybe she feels like, and even like her reason to go find Luke was that, well, Luke owes him, sort of. So maybe this kind of exchange of favors.
Probably a bit of Luke owes me as well.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I have this new life now, so like, dude, you took my old one, you may as well.
Pretty
much. Help me keep this new one. Yeah. And then I'm going to kill you.
Right. You know, it's like she's got this balance sheet of debts and personal favors that she's keeping, and like that's all relationships are to her. And she's like, I don't know, still has lines of credit with certain places, and then is still trying to work that.
Yeah, she seems to be very loyal to people who, like, you know, give her a chance and give her a purpose, and just give her like a home, I guess, or some place to call home.
I think that's the biggest thing, is purpose, because there's no reason that she needs to be with somebody else. She doesn't need Karrde. She's more than capable in running her own criminal organization. I like probably the most generic plotline you can, if it's that like the right hand man of the previous one in charge after the other one fell branched off and made their own organization. So I'm curious what she finds in Karrde that she thinks she needs, because I don't think they have any sort of romantic relationship.
No, I don't.
No, not at all.
I don't know if she needs Karrde or he just gave her, you know, what she would call purpose, so she feels like she owes it to him.
You know what I think she needs him for is for that personal touch, because she could be a good administrator, but like she couldn't convince, you know, a dog to follow her if she was carrying a giant juicy steak. Like she's got that prickly of a personality.
She has -5 bonus to charisma.
Right.
I mean, there's plenty of people who don't have charisma that are, you know, leaders of criminal organization. Like, where do you think Jabba's charisma is at?
His power.
Right.
And that's fair. She could do a power organization. Yeah.
She easily she could do a power organization. She's just I'm interested to find out more to see what exactly she's going for.
She could make an organization of toxic hustlers, but she couldn't get like the right people together for a long-term positive work environment.
Yeah.
So you think that's
everybody would just be fighting with
more of a family than conglomerate?
No, I think like those people are like 5 a.m. rise and grind kind of people are the only ones that she could convince to like have this perfect organizational structure. Yeah. But anybody with any ounce of personality or like humanity would be like, no, this work environment's not quite for me.
She needs a droid criminal organization. And now I want to see a droid criminal organization. We haven't done that yet.
What's that one like, droid bounty hunter?
Bounty hunters like IG-88 and the one from Mandalorian.
Goto's the closest thing we've got.
Yeah, but he doesn't have robot underlings though.
No, he doesn't.
I love Star Wars bounty hunters.
That's what we need. Just a line of IG-88s. IG-88 1, IG-88 2, IG-88
Droid
3.
gangsters. Yeah.
Oh, they should do like a 47 Ronin kind of
What was the
deal with 47 droids.
Oh yeah,
just retell that story in the Star Wars universe. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would.
I think another droid bounty hunter with Forlom. I think that's what his name was.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. That's the guy that has like the big eyes.
The bug eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy was cool. I want to say I had a book about. So I had the ABC book that I think I told you guys about, the Star Wars.
Yes.
And I think I had something along the lines of the bounty hunters as well. Maybe that's what letter B was for, bounty hunter. I don't remember, but and something's coming back to me. But I remember all those, like they had like Dengar, they had IG-88, Forlom, of course Boba Fett. They had the Trandoshan.
Bosk.
Yeah, Bosk. Yeah.
I would have thought it was Boba Fett, but if it wasn't, well, it's got IG-88. Then it must be after.
Yeah.
After Empire.
But yeah, that was pretty cool.
So, can I ask you guys, what is it that Thrawn's Empire doesn't offer that the old Empire does? Why does she think that, like, oh, this isn't the same Empire? Because it looks pretty much the same.
I don't think it has anything to do with the Empire. I don't think she's #1 Empire fan, and that's why she was there in the first place. I imagine Palpatine picked up a street rat that was desperate, and then he gave her purpose. And now she has a new purpose and doesn't need an empire anymore.
That makes me wonder about her relationship with Karrde as well, because it might feel comfortable because she's in another, what feels like a second in a command position. But it's also, it also has more connection with who's in charge of her than her previous position did. So it's familiar, but also more fulfilling at the same time.
Do you think that, like, Thrawn's Empire is an empire of cogs and is squeaky clean, whereas the old Empire was a little bit rough and tumble, but fulfilling because people had distinct positions, not just a ladder that they were climbing?
I think they were both cogs, but in both empires, however, Palpatine's had some people that were treated favorably. And I think that's the difference between his and Thrawn's. Because Thrawn won't really treat anyone with much favor because he'll be like, oh, that'll mess with morale or something like that.
Yeah.
Or that could create someone who then becomes like too ambitious or too clingy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thrawn is the old Empire but without personality now.
Right. She wants to live in a world of privilege, but be the privileged one.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And so now she's outside the law.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that can give some similar feelings.
Yeah. And as you point out, like, that she is in another position of privilege outside of Karrde's pile of cards. She's one of the special few.
Uh-huh. She is.
She just wants to feel special.
Yeah.
When you say privilege, what do you... I don't know. I don't imagine her position being a luxurious one with Palpatine.
No,
it would feel like it.
But it feels like it. She gets special attention. Yeah. She has a really, like, unique position that's well defined, or like she's maybe not even well defined, but like she's got attention that's she doesn't feel replaceable. Right. It's not somebody that can just chop and change. She is the one special thing that fits in that position, and she's treated like that way, or at least manipulated to feel like that way. And I think that's what it's coming together. Sorry, that's what feels like such a betrayal, that she is not the only Emperor's hand.
Oh yeah, that's a good connection.
Yeah, because she's high ranking with with Palpatine, but she might not be high ranking with anybody else because everybody else doesn't even know who she is. And yet, her privilege gives her access codes to the ship's computer that only Palpatine knows.
Yeah.
But then she finds out she's not the only one with it. And
Right.
like,
she finds out she's not the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. So now she's probably going to become disillusioned with her own past.
Yeah.
I think that's what this could snowball into.
Yeah. And then she might not feel like she would, she feels a lot less important. So maybe her animosity towards Luke will fade a little bit because she realizes that she wasn't as important as she thought she was.
Mm.
Yeah. Or the opposite could happen.
Do you think we're going to find another Emperor's hand in this series?
Winter. I knew it.
Paige. It was Paige the whole time.
Winter's been a sleeper agent. Paige has been a sleeper agent, just waiting for activation.
Wedge.
Yeah. One of them's Delta Source, the other is an Emperor's hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder if we actually find out who Delta Source is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Winter.
No, I really want a Mara Jade timeline because there's two things I'm now curious about because he's mentioned like at one point she would have changed sides every 20 minutes.
Mm.
Do you think when do you think that point in her life was?
I think that was after the Empire fell. That
right.
Until she was bumming around until she found Karrde organization, she would have just flipped because none of those gave her the attention that she needed. Her skills weren't being utilized at that point, so she didn't feel any loyalty to those people. But once she came to Karrde's organization, now she's changed. She feels that, she feels special. She feels like she has that privilege. She feels like she is expressing herself, and her creativity is how I would want my job to treat me. But
I wish my boss worked in the Empire.
Like her special Swiss Army knife, all the knives are getting used.
And I guess my other question is, because I'm not too sure at this point in Star Wars how Force users are chosen. I'm guessing it's only a special few. How old was Mara Jade when she was plucked by Palpatine?
Story for another time.
Yeah.
Good question for another time.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stories that we
find
could
out
read
next time on the Lost Holocron
about Mara.
Yeah.
Which would probably answer those questions.
We should pick a Mara book after the trilogy. Whenever that gets done.
From what I know, if we start one of the Mara books, we're going to have like 20 more to go through.
No, we're just doing an Origins book. We don't do the whole Mara lifetime.
We're not doing the whole new Jedi Academy. Yeah. What if we just jumped into the final of those books?
What if we just pick like the middle?
What if we just did the summaries?
We're missing so much context. What does any of this mean?
Yeah.
What if we find all of them, edit them together, and play it at 4 times speed?
You mean that's not what you're doing with this book already?
I play it at 1.5 monster.
I'm at 1.5 speed.
Yeah. Every plague back gets a little bit faster every time.
Yeah. There were some long books I was listening to on Audible, and it got to the point where I just had to like 2.5 exit because it's just like, man, I need to get through this.
Yeah.
Some of the most podcasts I listen to at like 2.3 speed, but then there's ones like Night Vale, Welcome to Night Vale, that is a narrative podcast, and that one I slow right down to like 1.5 or 1.2 sometimes. I never listen to anything at normal speed. But
Dang. I listen to everything at normal speed. But I also don't listen to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. At work, though, I do it at 1.5 speed as I'm editing.
Yeah. I feel like that's comfortable for editing. I wish my
is,
program would let me do it at 1.5 speed.
It's nice.
But so I have to do it in real time. But yeah, for like entertainment purposes, like people talk about speed reading being a nice skill to have, and because I read so much fiction, I've never wanted to speed read through a fiction book. So I need to read more nonfiction and to learn that skill of speed reading. Because people say, like, once you've got the skill, you can just speed up and slow down as much as you want and control the flow of the narrative in that way.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
I can't like that skill too. I heard it, but I heard a recent story where someone was like, "Yeah, I got the idea in my head that I can listen to 2 audiobooks at the same time when it needs ear." And then I develop anxiety from it.
So, I guess we talked about that one. I think I did say about that. So before I had talked about the Dark Empire series, that it was a series of comic books going on at the same time where the Emperor has been reborn as a clone in the center of the galaxy, moving his way out. And I had thought that this was part of Thrawn's plan, that possibly he knew that the Emperor was building up his forces to come from the center of the galaxy, and which is why he is trying to retake the outside of the galaxy so that they're doing a pincer move on the New Republic. But in this chapter, he says that Emperor is long dead. We don't care anymore. This is my empire. The only sedition is against my word. Do you think he's telling the truth in that point? Or is he lying to Mara? And if he's not lying, what does that say about him? Because I thought we didn't think that he was going to be the new Emperor, or didn't want to be new Emperor. So what's going on here?
I don't know. He does seem to drop the "it's my empire" a lot. Whether or not he wants to be Emperor by title, or if he still wants to remain Grand Admiral. Now he's the only Grand Admiral at this time. Did we figure that out yet or not?
I think so. Yeah, they've all been cleaned up, and he was just the one that's loose.
He was like the bug that got away. But
I think there's a couple possibilities. The first is that it's a show of force for him to just get the Empire back up and running. Like, just listen to me. Because if he has any dissension, then they won't be able to get their power back. But the other possibility is that he genuinely just doesn't think very highly of how Palpatine ran things and thinks he can do better.
Oh, he definitely did. Yeah.
No doubt. He thinks he's better than Palpatine.
Right.
Yeah. So it might be that.
I kind of think he would run it better, also, to be honest.
I seriously don't see... I don't see Thrawn as a secondary in-command kind of person. I think the only reason he is because this is just a stepping stone for him to his path, which, again, I don't know what his end goal is. I don't know what his total domination looks like. Just overall bombarding Myrkr, I guess.
Because that's why I'm confused by this chapter. Like, does he see himself as new Emperor, or what is the end goal there? Because say he gets his way and he conquers the New Republic, and now there's a new empire. What then? Like we did have he'll just reset the chessboard at that point, and
he'll lead the rebellion.
Like, is he just not want to go back to what he was? I mean, how do you go from being Grand Admiral to, I don't know, what's he gonna go do? Is he just
maybe? Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't see him putting someone in place for him to answer to. I think he would definitely want to be, I guess, the Emperor, whether or not by title or not, But he seems like he definitely wants to be like the head administrator, whatever the title is. But
or maybe he'd want to be like the person, shadow puppeteer, person pulling the strings.
Yeah, I kind of see that
like
because isn't that the fascist? Like that's the fascist ideal, right? Is that everything works the way that I think that it should work, and then I'm just going to be the one. I'm not really in charge. I'm just the one that's banging down the nails that stick up.
Yeah,
he's the
whatever the new emperor is just an appointed figurehead by him.
Yeah.
What's that, Scott? He's the reptilian?
Yeah.
Thrawn is the shadow government?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the deep state.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty believable.
You what?
I wish Thrawn was part of the deep state because at least it would get something good done. We'd probably solve climate change with Thrawn part of the deep state.
Oh my god.
If
Thrawn's part of the deep state, then we literally have blue. Then we literally have blue versus orange.
Thrawn is one of the 12 the majestic 12 alien races.
I feel like that's probably his end goal.
You think shadow government is his end goal?
Yeah. I feel comfortable sticking with that for now until I have more information.
Yeah. If he just put like, a figurehead in the position of emperor or whatever, he could definitely, he wouldn't have to answer to that person per se.
Yeah. That's what I mean is like the fascists dream state is something that runs itself. It's all, clockwork. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just a cog performing as should be done. And then, it's kind of, it's a dead thing. It's an automaton. It's an automaton, not a living thing. And you're just there to cut down the tall poppies, bang in the, what's the one about the nail? Hammer in the rusty nail. What is it called? There's like a bunch of these different. Let's go to Wikipedia. I'm not my new favorite website is Wiktionary.
Oh yeah, Wiktionary.
Hit the nail on the head. Is that what you're going for?
No. There's like
I think I know the saying that you're talking about, but I also can't recall it.
I'm trying to think of nail-based analogies.
Yeah.
There's like the nail that sticks out gets the hammer or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's this squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
There you go. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like that's like who is the one doing the hammering? Who is the one giving the grease? Who is the one cutting the poppies in these scenarios? That is the fascist at the top of the chain, and that is going to be
cutting
Thrawn.
Puppies.
Cutting poppies. Oh, it's an Australian saying to cut down the tall poppy.
Oh, poppies! Oh God! I'm like, who's cutting puppies? like cutting their tails. Like sometimes
you can't have those puppies be tall.
Poppies.
Look, those tails add another 6 inches to some of those big dogs.
You making heroin out of those poppies? Poppies.
No, asbestos.
Asbestos.
I'm referencing Wizard of Oz, and in that scene when they're in the poppy field falling asleep, there's like powder falling down. It was literally asbestos on set.
God. Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a fucking nightmare.
It was a very dangerous set.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
And to get the authenticity of that scene, they actually gave them LSD.
I would not be shocked.
Is that why the Munchkin hung himself in the background?
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed to be fake, but
it's like a kind.
Yeah.
A super side story. I found out recently there was one person alive, apparently, left from the set of filming of Wizard of Oz, and she's like from what I've seen, she was still alive not too long ago. This was like a month or two ago, and she was like Dorothy's stand-in or something like that.
Oh.
And she's like she's like super old now, and she like goes to parades, and like that her thing is that she is the last living cast member of Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome. I wonder if she was the one that was painted black and white for the transition scene.
With lead paint.
Yeah.
That's why she lived so long.
Maybe it's not her then. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That set. Oh.
It's a disaster.
I want to say that all these additions that I'm adding are just jokes, but
They're all believable.
they're all believable for the 50s. Was it the 50s or the 40s?
It was like 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
It was old. Yeah, 1939.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys saw the Return to Oz from the 80s?
Yeah.
That movie, I thought that movie was fucked up. It
That's
was,
a messed
made by
up
Disney,
movie.
baby.
it was pretty
Yeah.
fucked up.
What
It was great though.
what happened in it?
Dorothy returns to Oz, and the real world inspiration for her Oz experience this time is electroshock therapy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is
Yeah,
she getting electroshock therapy? Because she keeps talking about Oz? Or
Yeah, because her mom thinks she's crazy.
I mean, technically, isn't that true? That the whole thing was just a dream? Or
Possibly.
is Oz a real place?
Possibly.
Except you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
Supposedly, I've not seen anything that she's died.
Oh, what's her name?
Karen Marsh Doll.
She was in,
105
her
years
90s
old.
or something. Oh, 105, jeez.
Good for her.
Still kicking. Yeah, Karen with a C.
Well, I hope that doesn't change between now and when this show gets released, because
How unfortunate.
What are you talking about? We release next day.
That's true. Today's date is.
oh, Kyle, you muted.
Yeah, that's what happened. I'm muted.
Right.
What is this, chapter 19?
19.
It is supposed to come out on October 23rd.
October
Kyle, take it away.
23rd.
2024.
At the tone, the time will be.
Wait, this is the Halloween episode, and we're not telling it. Oh wait, no, I guess next week is the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll dress up.
Yeah.
Dress up for an audio medium.
Yeah, why not?
I guess this is about our friendship more than anything else.
It's about both.
Now that you say that, it sounds like a terrible idea.
Back to
So,
Star Wars.
do we want to get back? Yeah, I was going to say that we need to meet our 1/3 quarter of talking about Star Wars this episode.
We have to talk about Star Wars.
Is that our minimum quota? Is just 1/3?
I mean, yeah, I think at this point.
I thought there's a consistent time where we always go off into something else.
Yeah, I would love if we can agree.
I love that though.
we
It's fun.
don't. If we at one point just stop talking about the books, we continue to release episodes as if they are chapters. Of the book, and we just stop talking about them at all.
Get on like a side tangent, like something completely unrelated. Just do multiple episodes on that.
Like 80% of book clubs across America in the 50s.
We're still going to read the story so far in the summary, but we're not going to talk about the book.
Right. Going to discuss cryptids and Wizard of Oz and
Right.
Don't forget Avatar,
oh yeah,
Avatar.
right, Avatar.
Kirby lore.
Destiny.
And I'll be talking to myself about Destiny and Venture Brothers.
I'll talk to myself
Capcom.
about Elden Ring.
Capcom's releasing an updated version of Dead Rising. We can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle and I will talk about Resident Evil.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I will try to get you guys into Metroid.
I like Metroid.
Yeah.
Stuart.
It took
then
me
we'll
so
talk
long
about
to figure out that Metroid was like my game because I don't know, it just like wasn't released on consoles that I had, and then I finally played Metroid Dread and I was like, oh my god, this thing is a sci-fi space opera type thing that is, kind of puzzly game, why aren't I all over this? And so I'm going back with the Nintendo Switch Online to play all the other games.
It's cool.
Is it rewarding so far?
Yes, very rewarding.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that I don't think they've done anything with the franchise anytime recently.
Well, I don't know if you've heard. Oh, wait. You're being facetious, right?
No, I'm not. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I'm a sarcastic asshole. You can't tell.
No, but Metroid Dread only came out a couple of years ago, didn't it?
That's a couple of years ago.
I never even heard about it, if that helps.
And they actually have in this past year at the one of the Nintendo Directs said that Metroid Prime 4 is coming out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, neat.
So they actually had something in the works for that, which is cool. And I think that as long as something takes to be released, it should be. Nothing should be pushed on a production schedule, and that seems to be the way Nintendo handles stuff like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad they don't just push out a bunch of generic stuff, which maybe they do, but let's not talk about that. But they actually, want to put the time and the craft into each of their games. That's nice.
It's good stuff. So, any final thoughts on this chapter?
No, I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah, me too.
Any predictions on where you think we're heading, guys?
Let's follow Mara.
I think we're going.
I like where Mara's going.
Yeah.
I will be very sad if we don't see her next chapter. I can't believe I just said that. Yeah, she's infinitely more compelling in this book.
Well,
you know what? It might sound odd. I hope the next one is a courtroom drama.
Honestly, I'd be down for that too.
I'm joking. Cut that out.
No, but actually, though, Akbar on the stand. Yeah, why not?
Because we don't have any more to push that plot line. We need to get Han back to Coruscant first.
Yeah. All right, take it away, Scott.
Okay. Sorry. I got the music stuck in my head.
We need a Star Wars version of that theme.
We should make our own.
We should
make our own Star Wars
Star Wars remix.
Crap.
I can make AI make it.
Law and Order. We should make our own Star Wars Law and Order.
Star Wars Law and Order. Yeah.
All right. This has been The Lost Holocron. You can find transcripts, links to discussions, and more at our website, lostholocron.com. While you're there, you can learn how you can support the creation of future episodes. Read on, and we will be waiting for you in the next transmission. We would be honored if you would join us.